Alright, how's it going, everyone? Sorry for the gap in videos. Still away on business, so it's kind of tough to get time to make videos on a regular basis, but I'm trying my best to keep it up here. What we have here today is a very unique watch that I've been lucky enough to get while I've been out here. It's a Seiko, obviously. It's an SNK063J5. The model is 063J5. So, as you might notice, the indices on this are a little different than you might be expecting. It's because they're in Arabic. So the 063J5 is an Arabic model produced specifically for this region. They're very hard to get in the US. I mean, they're not hard to get, but you're going to pay more than you should for them. You know, they routinely go for $200 plus on eBay. Around here, you can get them all day for $100 or a little bit less. So it's a really cool model. It's one of their smaller Seiko 5s, so it's only 30 meters water resistant. You got the usual, you know, small recessed crown. Not as recessed as like the traditional 80 series Seiko 5s, but otherwise you have a nice kind of tonneau, not quite a tonneau shaped case, but this, you know, because it's got these integrated lugs, it kind of makes it look longer in the case, which is nice because since it's nice and small. Sorry for the fingerprints. This thing takes fingerprints like crazy. Since it's small as it is, it gives a nice little bit of wrist presence. Otherwise, you're getting basically your bog standard Seiko 5. You get the mineral caseback, mineral glass, or mineral glass caseback, mineral front glass. Your 7S26 movement. This one has a black date and day. The day alternates between English and Arabic. There it has a red Sunday for the English and red Friday for the Arabic, reflecting the religious cultures of both countries. The Seiko and the 5 are applied. Everything else is printed, including the loom. All these little dots are loom pips. There's a little bit of loom in the hand, except for the second hand, obviously. As you can hear, it's very much a hollow, folded mid-link, folded end-link. Everything is folded on this bracelet, but you do have dual pusher stamped clasp, which I think is nice, and even says Japan on it. You can see it takes scratches pretty easy too. And you have this, I think it's a really relatively attractive, where you have brushed mid-link and end-link with just a little polished stripe on the mid-link on either side. Gives it kind of a semi-dressy, semi-sporty look. The loom on this, you can maybe see if I try and shade it a little bit. It's respectable. It'll last an hour or two in the dark if it's got some good charge, which is about as much as you'd expect from most Seiko 5s. One nice little design detail you might notice here is that you have these little grooves in the bezel that kind of match the bracelet, so it makes the kind of a continuous look. This one's been, I haven't been keeping the time super crazy on it, but it's been keeping. I mean, it's currently less than a minute off, and I've had it on for 2 weeks straight, so can't complain. You know, perfectly accurate for anyone's practical needs. You know, there's not, mostly for, obviously for those of us who are not native Arabic speakers, something like this is mostly like a novelty piece. I got it to remind me of my my trip out here, just because it's, you know, something you can't really get in the US, which is amazing even for Seiko. You know, Seikos you can get everywhere. And the QC on it's pretty impeccable. The only major gripe I have is that the date wheel, it's kind of tough to see in this light, but the date wheel is just slightly a different color than the dial on the day wheel. The dial and the day wheel are about the same color, but the date wheel is a little bit more gray. Otherwise, it's made in Japan. You got the automatic 21 jewel Seiko 5. It's all exactly what you'd expect. I'll throw it on the wrist real quick. It's incredibly comfortable. It'll pull a few hairs if you're hairy like me, but not bad. Very comfortable. Looks good on my 6 3/4 inch wrist. Honestly, it's a pretty great watch. I mean, I've been trying to wear it for a month straight, just as kind of like a, you know, like a watch fast, just something to do for fun. And at 2 weeks in, can't complain. Haven't felt like I mean, aside from some minor loom you know, maybe a little bit more loom. Haven't had anything I could complain about really. Just works like every other Seiko I've ever owned. You can see here that the tops of the lugs are brushed, and you got a very minor chamfer, and then everything else is polished. It's not super thick. This display case back makes it a little thicker than I think it needs to be, but that kind of just sinks into your hand, your wrist, you know, when you're wearing it, especially when you wear it tighter like I do. So you end up just having this part protrude. So not bad. I mean, yeah, the water resistance isn't earth-shattering. You know, the bracelet, nothing's earth-shattering, but you know, you're getting a automatic watch for $100 or a little less with a bracelet, integrated lugs, kind of a unique design, unique dial, reasonably functional loom. Certainly, as you know, as good as my some of my experiences with older Rolexes. So, you know, nothing to really complain about. So if you're in the market, I mean, I haven't done any videos on Seiko 5s yet, but Seiko 5s are an amazing product, I think, for the money. I don't think you can go wrong with any Seiko 5, especially the 38mm models that are kind of nice and conservative. I mean, this is a pretty decent bracelet. I know you can get a lot better bracelets from Chinese companies now, but I don't know, something to be said for a unique design from a relatively well-known and cool manufacturer. So, I just want to do a quick video on this thing, give you a little look at it. If you have any questions, definitely leave them in the comments. And yeah, so I'll probably have a few more watch videos coming up here in the next month or two. I'll definitely do some update videos as well on some of the watches I've got. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the comments. Have a great day. Bye.